Coming up on this episode.
Eamon flies away towards this thing.
We're not sure how many bodies she had.
I'm not going to sacrifice myself for this guy.
A cloaked figure peers through a bit of uncovered window into the main floor of the crypt. They study an orcish man as he frantically paces back and forth, all the while gripping a shovel, much like a knight grips his blade. The sounds of sword swings, magic spells, and explosions spill up from the crypts below. The figure shimmers into invisibility, slowly opening the door as to not make a sound. As the orc is busy fixating on the stairs and the battle unfolding down them, he remains oblivious to the danger lurking up behind him. That battle was our party. A rumor of a suspicious crypt closing brought them here, a good hour or two south out of Wakuzana. After speaking with Orvusk, the orc crypt keeper, and dispelling whatever magic had a hold on him, they confronted and ultimately killed the Vetalarana. But their job is not done, as the vampire's spirit has fled to one of its many vessels. Eamon and Diego are in the midst of speaking with the celestial that was helping the Vetalarana, though it seems that was not by choice. We cut to myself, explaining to Eamon the basics of celestials. Celestials are like a wide range. They're every front thing from like a pretty low on the totem pole angelic beings that are like work for like the Zebub with the Barghest. Like there are celestial equivalents to that of like weaker celestial beings that serve very specific purposes. As far as shield archons though, they're one of the more powerful celestials on the totem pole. Really any celestial in itself might ally itself with anyone of good faith. There's pretty common, like Anahel is a celestial or was a celestial at some point, and that's now become a chosen, right? So she has allied herself with Tyne to some degree, I think. Other things like that are possible. Some people worship celestials as other people would worship chosen and divine. There are archangels, which are like the pinnacle of the celestial totem pole and such. The only thing that would come to mind is that you do remember that the only thing Naito could dig up about that ruin you found, or the coffin that you found, is that when the Bunko dynasty found where Ranku is now, however long ago that was, the civilization that was here was a civilization that worshipped celestials. That's just like, whether there's a through line or not, this guy is clearly, like, you have identified him as a celestial. There used to be a civilization that worships celestials. It's worth that pinging in your head.
Also, just being around a long time, knowing a lot of shit about a lot of things, even if you can't remember his own name, it's like you never know.
But yeah,
do you? I can see that a lot has gone on to you, but would you be willing to come with us? We could try to find you at least a place of rest where you may gather yourself a bit. And then perhaps when you're ready, there may be some good left for you to attempt, whether you're welcome back where you're from or not.
Does Vitora have another body to take?
Yes.
Excuse me, Vitora?
I assume that's just the vampire's name.
Yes. He says it as if he's referring to the Vetalarana.
Well, yeah, but we have not heard that name before, so.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm just trying to...
I'm just clarifying.
Play it cool like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Vitora, for sure. Yeah. We knew that.
Oh, yeah,
her?
that's cool. Yeah, she likely has another body. We're not sure how many bodies she had. Do you have any insight on that?
No. I do not know anything while I am the necklace.
Would you be willing to...
Is the necklace still on the ground? I know he kind of turned into it.
No, from what you would assume, he becomes the necklace becomes him. So there is no necklace.
Are you still attached to that? Can you tell?
To
the necklace?
I am the necklace.
Vitora, does she still have power over you?
I do not know.
I'm going to try 4th level Dispel Magic on him.
Can I...
Okay.
Can I roll something, or can you just tell me, because it was like a couple minutes ago? She did say a name.
Oh, for him?
Yeah.
So kill them.
Yeah. Asdriel.
That does sound celestial. Asdriel.
We're going to pause this conversation real quick, go to you two, Renesteer and Peter, because this would have been happening while you guys go in there.
So there are coffins. I'm assuming.
Let me give you the layout of this room first as you go in. 30-foot square room. I lied. It's bigger than the room above. Room above was a 10-foot square room. 30-foot square room, still not that bigger. There's splintered remains of a bed in the corner. Most of the room is taken up by a ritual circle made up of interconnecting lines of fragrant oils sprinkled with powdered jewels. On the north wall are 3 wooden coffins, as I said. There's a desk up against the east wall, so to your right as you enter, that has a long dead body on it, as well as 3 glass jars, 2 of them empty, one of them with a wispy purple vapor in it. The jar with the vapor has 2 slips of paper holding it shut, strange magical glyphs pulsing on the paper's surface. Next to that desk is a leather sack on the ground. That is what is all in this room.
Okay, I'm going to
you want to
immediately...
clear the coffins first?
Yeah, I'm going to immediately go to the coffins. Is there, similar to the coffins we saw with Cuckoo, is there any sort of like...
Writing on them?
Or energy coming out of it that I can pick up on?
I'm just going to prep to bottled sunlights.
Okay. I am rolling for you, Renesteer.
Okay.
Obviously. Doesn't seem like it. They seem pretty, if anything, a little rickety. They're like pretty long used wood coffins.
I'm going to... So how are they lined up? Are they just in a row?
They're just like all 3 up against the north wall.
I'll do the left one first, so I'll open it.
Okay. Empty.
Middle one.
Empty.
As he goes down the line, I'm just going to torch him behind him.
Third one.
Empty.
Okay. Then I'll go over to the sack.
Okay.
And open it.
Okay. In it, there is hooded black robes, a stark white mask with 2 eye holes cut out of it, and the remnants of a peachwood scythe, now splintered to pieces.
Oh, I'm assuming this body may have been of...
Yeah. Can I pull up my journal? I'm going to quick sketch what the the magic circle looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sketch that down.
I mean, you can try to identify what it is or what it's used for. It would be Arcana or Occultism.
I'll try Arcana.
Umbra could have gone with you. He can try too.
I'll have him do as well. I'll try Arcana as well. That's a 22 for me for Arcana.
Umbra rolled an at 20.
No.
He says, I read about this in Diego's book. It's a ritual of some sort.
Do you know what the ritual's for?
Yes. And he would explain, it's basically used, it's called a word of recall ritual. Takes a while to cast, but if successful, the caster and up to 6 other creatures present for the casting can teleport to the ritual circle by saying a single command word from anywhere on the same plane of existence. So since you're here, seems like a failsafe if the Vetalarana got in trouble outside of this place. Literally with a word, it could be back here.
I'm going to start planting my bombs.
Okay.
Like right in the center of the ritual
you do know
space.
if you heavily disrupt the circle, obviously, it would not be able to do that anymore.
And I'm going to tell Umbra, help him with the desk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd look it over. I'm assuming...
do you want to inspect the dead body or the bottles first?
We'll go with the dead body first.
Okay. Give me a necromancy lore.
God damn. I keep rolling 2s. 7.
That passes because it's a lore check. It's a DC 6 for you for this.
Oh.
Jeez.
Well, that's because it's similar to something you already just identified.
Okay.
Body seems to have just begun the process of being reanimated as a white. Sentient undead that are wildly dangerous for their ability to instantly reanimate any humanoid they kill as another white.
I'm assuming I would know at this point, like, it's even if it's in the process, there's not really much to do? Or
definitely not.
Okay, I'd rip its head off.
Okay, yep. You do that.
Just plant the body next to me.
While you did that, Umbra will look at the bottles unless you stopped him.
Yeah, no. He probably knows that.
Umbra sees his first decapitation.
No, I want to do this. I want credit.
Yeah, he's doing great today. So yeah, he holds the jar, and you kind of catch this out of the corner of your eye, Renesteer. You as well, Peter. He starts crying. He looks at it, he cries a little bit, he sets it down, his hand shaking a little bit, like he's clearly like uncomfortable. He's like, I don't know what happened, but I think I'm sad.
Why?
I
just
think
disappointed dad.
I think this bottle is emotion is in it.
Oh.
And something would click for you, Renesteer, that whites are one of the most commonly occurring intelligent undead. They're not super intelligent. Because of that is because all it takes for a soul to come back as a white is strong negative emotion. You could probably make the connection that to make a white the Vetalarana has found a way to like condense negative emotion
okay.
to. So this was presumably going to be used to reanimate this white. However, it does beg the question: 2 empty bottles. You found one other white besides this one.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, there are a fuck ton of tombs in this place. If you wanted to check all of them, but yeah, you do. That's
Can I, with the bottle that's left that Umber just picked up, can I try to like
you pick
put
it.
it
You
in
feel
a
the
bag?
same thing. You like that it emanates sadness and sorrow.
Yeah, just put that in my bag to like.
Okay, yeah.
Just put it in the bag. There might be another white somewhere around here.
Yeah, conceivably it doesn't have to be in here. I'm just saying that you have only found one and there's 2 empty bottles. It's probably safe to assume another white was made to some degree.
The might white.
Yeah, so you set all that up and then you guys are coming out.
I want to do a quick look around to see if there's any place that's been dug.
Yeah, I don't look.
Do you want to look through all the family tombs? There's
No,
like a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
them.
no. This room
could
right
have-
now.
we could
Right
have-
now.
Word.
We could have Big Boy wait and see if a white comes out.
Oh, yeah, you're rolling. Hold on, I'm rolling.
I'm rolling for you, both of you.
Okay.
It looks like you found everything in this room. Doesn't seem to be much. Does anyone take the bag with the Kari stuff in it?
I don't know if I want to be caught with that thing.
Maybe we should. Do we get rid
I
of
think
it?
this wouldn't be lost on you. I feel comfortable telling you this, Ernestier. Like having these things, like you say, if you had these things and someone knew you had them, that's very illegal. However, it's safe to assume that the Kari are a very close-knit and secret organization. There's probably some other way of identifying them, but having their equipment is the first step to impersonating them, essentially. So there is a risk if someone like finds you having it, that would be a big no-no. But having it is useful in itself because you could they're anonymous. You could dress up and put the mask on.
I'll grab it.
This
Granted,
also could
it would
be-
probably be more useful for the 2 humanoid-looking ones.
Yeah.
I'll grab it from one of the humanoid
vampire
ones.
lizard
Or
man.
human-looking ones. but yeah.
It could be one
Whoa.
small piece of evidence also towards the family, correct?
Just this.
Of them being involved in shenanigans.
This looks like he just took him. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if they were off.
no,
No,
super
this
clear
is the
what-
wrong vampire family that allied with him.
Well, I mean, you don't know. It could be something of like rumors are Shintami is involved with the Kari in some way. For all you know,
That's kind of what I was connecting of
Kari to
Shintami
him.
connected to the Kari being an evil bad
there's
place.
no confirmation of it, and it is a bit of a stretch because the families kind of hate each other. But who knows?
But if we're in the
It is a
thing of
possibility.
collecting evidence,
Mhm,
let's
yeah,
collect
it's
it.
a possibility.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it.
You
put it in
guys
my
walk
bag.
out as where we were in that conversation.
Did you find anything?
Where were we?
That's a great question. I don't remember either.
I said I was gonna. We were asking
Oh,
if
if you
he's
could
still
take
connected
him-
to the necklace.
Oh yeah, he said.
If he was still under the power.
Oh, of her.
And I said I was going to cast 4th level Dispel Magic on it, but I'm not going to because tonight could be a long night and I've already used all my 5th level spells. Oh, just so everyone knows, I can't spike anything again until I rest. Do you wish to stay here? Do you wish to go?
I would like to help.
Perfect. We have a place for you.
Can you
Gonna have to
tell
do
us-
something about that hair, though.
Do you know where another white might be?
Excuse me? We think there's another white?
Yes. We found. Well, I'll explain later.
No. He kind of looks at his hands a bit and he says, I don't think I have much time on this plane. Now that the anchor that was holding me here, I will disappear soon.
Back to your old plane?
I will fully disappear. I am not welcome there.
Okay, how do we stop that?
You can't.
Bet.
Can I pull out my sack and
Anchor him to
I just
something.
show him the bottle because his face
Mhm.
was contorted into the sad shape.
Mhm.
Was this what was used to make you under his control?
He shakes his head. No. He shakes his head no. I guess could have
Gotcha.
shook yes.
Do
Shakes
you
his head.
want to disappear, or would you rather be something else?
All I care about is Vitora.
A useful
You
thing
care
you could
about
do.
like you want to protect, or you want to kill?
I spent an eternity fighting them off from the mortal realm. I have failed.
Well, you haven't failed yet. You've still got time.
Time
Let's
to
go.
tell us everything you know about
Let's go back to somewhere.
Vitora. We can't bring this large being into the city necessarily.
Why
Can you
not?
turn into a necklace?
Not a necklace that we can. I'm not going to make him do that. I'm saying while we're here,
There's also the lantern
The lantern.
and a hell's lantern.
No fucking clue. He just kind of. He more said in a way of like questioning of whether like it seemed from an outside view, it seemed like you were saying as if it might be something that Vetora has used or possessed. But yeah, no, doesn't.
Can you tell us everything you know about Vetora?
Just before you go.
That could be the best way to help.
Do we have the time?
I mean,
Yeah, it's about
we can make time for this.
3:50 a.m.
This is, I mean, this could be more useful than anything else we could go do right now.
Well, we also need to search around here for White, maybe talk and walk. Let's at least clear this area.
You
Or
want to
they-
go through all the crypts?
They
will you?
can. One of you can talk to him, and me and Peter can case the area.
Also go upstairs and see Vress. Vress doesn't need to hear all of this.
Or Vusk.
Vress, sorry.
is the
Not
other
Vress,
orc
my
that
bad.
Diego's trying to court.
No.
Orvuk.
That you've pawned off
I'm trying to
onto
use
Onside.
her to
Yeah.
court someone else. Sticking her
So
with
you guys
Onside.
are going through all the family crypts?
Yeah.
Any starting point or just like...
Where we're standing is a starting point. We're just going to clear our way.
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Closest
back.
and farthest.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm staying with homeboy. Oh, I said his name. That's what it was.
Yeah, you know his name. Yeah.
I said his name, and that's when we cut. I was just trying to remember.
Anything you want Umber to do or just help?
Do you want to come with us or talk to the Celestial?
What is a celestial?
I'll point at him.
I will come with you.
Okay.
Also, like, we don't know Orvusk.
The orc?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
The orc.
Graveyard keeper.
Be really convincing in having him not talk about any of this, if you can.
Yeah, you
I
know
look
me.
I look to Renister. I look to Renister specifically.
It's not really. I can try.
You don't have to
Try
be
my
nice
best.
about it.
Okay. Well, so you guys start searching. I will roll for you.
And can I actually use engineering lore to try to figure out those places that they
if there's
shouldn't?
any like hidden stuff? Yeah, for sure.
That's plus 9.
Okay. I'll at least start the conversation because you guys wouldn't find anything like in the first crypt or anything.
Gotcha.
Eamon takes his investigative journal.
He's still there on his knees. I do not know what age we are in. When I was sealed away, I had one job. Keep Vetora from returning to the mortal plane. I spent what felt like an eternity steeling myself against their magic. One day, a loud sound finally broke my concentration. I didn't know I had grown so weak.
What was the job? Or what was the sound?
I don't remember. Once my concentration had been broken, Vetora was released, taking me along with them. And that's when the torture began. And I was broken. I still am, as he looks to his clearly rusted and decayed armor. It's spotty from there. We were one at one point when Vetora was first released. I was subdued in their consciousness to some degree. Then they gained form and gave me form. The necklace. I was forced to do their bidding.
Do you know how many other vessels Vetora has?
I do not. I am not conscious while in the necklace.
Can I roll something about just an esoteric lore on Celestials losing favor, not being able to return home?
Yeah, for sure. Why don't you go esoteric lore? Not curses or haunts or creatures, but
24.
So Celestials, as are like fiends, they're kind of like two sides of a separate coin. They're not. You can't think of them in ways that you would think about mortals. There is no gray area. They are beings of pure good, just as fiends are beings of pure evil in most respects. I mean, there are some exceptions here and there, but most of those exceptions result from outside sources, like as it looks like with Azrael. Like he was, from what it sounds like, he spent a very long time being mentally worn down and then broken by, like, as he says, an eternity fighting back, and then eventually, whatever. So it's less them like not allowing him to return home, and more so he is no longer, as the world considers it, a celestial. So he is unable to exist in the celestials realm, so to speak.
Do I know any stories of
Redemption?
Yeah, either redemption or just becoming mortal.
Yeah. They would need, like, as he says, he would probably, at least to begin with, need some sort of anchoring mechanism. That's probably the only reason he stayed around with Vatora. He talks about it as if it is an immediate thing that's going to happen very soon, but you are aware that celestials are beings that can't die conventionally, so they view time very differently, which signifies two things. An eternity to a being that can't die means that that's a very serious thing for something like that to say. And two, immediate to him could mean years in like your guys' time. So he could disappear in like a couple hours. It also could be a thing where like
that's
soon,
like 100 years away.
Yeah, soon could be like, as you say, quite long away in terms of like immediate timeline. There's specifically, I forget the name of it, but there's a ritual that grants those redemption of divine favor. It is normally used for like people of a specific religion having lost their connection with that religion, or like if Renistyr had like done something completely like if he himself had created undead and wanted to like redeem himself, there is a ritual that specifically does that. There isn't a lot of precedent for that being used on quite literally divine beings, like celestials. But that's at least a starting point. The other thing is that the lantern would be something to look into at the very least, because it is something that is used to like consume celestials. Not saying that you might want to do that, because the question is, does, like you said, is he even technically considered a celestial at this point? Could he fuel it? But more so that magic is like, basically what you would want to do is the reverse of that, is like gifting celestial power instead of taking it. So the lantern might be a good starting point as well in terms of like magical abilities to get somewhere with that kind of stuff.
Do you have the ability to take any other physical form than you are right now?
Only the necklace.
We can disguise him.
You can disguise him.
I say we're a team. Jeez.
You look around and no one else.
Yes, I know. I thought Umbra was still here.
Was there any sign of, when you weren't in the necklace, as you said, you were completely under their control, but were there any signs you picked up throughout that eternity of what ages you may have passed through?
When I was sealed away, there was nothing but me and them. The only thing I remember since being out is flashes of undescript faces. I buried a body.
Where?
Behind the top of this place. He says very clearly not confident of that, but like that's what he thinks he remembers.
Just that one.
I buried one, yes.
What does the original physical form of Vatora look like?
What you just
was
saw.
Was that what we just saw?
Yeah, he nods.
The original from essentially day one.
What year do you last remember?
That's essentially what I was trying to ask.
Could have just said it in plain words.
Well, you said the word age and talked all cool, so I thought I'd try. I don't know if it worked.
I do not know.
You do not remember. I would tell him the current age.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't mean a lot to him. Like I said, Celestials don't really care about mortal realm things to like that degree, especially like because they're technically immortal time wise. So it it could be he just not remembering. It probably seems to you that just like he was never really aware of it, and especially like he says, there was nothing except him and Vitora for so long. No fucking clue of like how much time could have even possibly passed.
Do you have a memory of an age of mortals that worshipped celestials? A large population of mortals that worship celestials?
Yes.
What was that like?
They were kind. Too kind.
And that was before you...
They sealed me away.
The mortals did.
Why?
There's like a... For the first time, there's like a little bit of light in his eyes of like him remembering something almost. He says, I remember the scripture. My mind a shield, my thoughts a blade. My soul will keep your evil at bay. I was bound to it.
Why did they bind you to it?
To stop Vitora.
Vitora threatened this civilization of mortals?
Do not remember.
In my reading at the assembly, is there a rough time distance between where we are currently and the people that came before that worshipped celestials like this many thousands of years ago or around this time?
There is not. There's actually no record of that at the assembly. The Naito had to get that from like specific palace history of the of like Ranku. I mean, it's technically Bunko dynasty history, but they split off from them. So it almost seems like something that it's a little odd. There isn't a lot of information on it, and the information that is on it is so vague and well protected to some degree, which would maybe lead you in two trains of thought. One, either there is more information and Naito doesn't have access to it, or two, there's deliberately not a lot of information on it. Whether that be to as a smoke and veils or like what happened caused a lot of like what happened for that civilization to fall caused a lot of the information about that civilization to be lost as well. But so there is no real time frame of any degree. I mean, the Bunko dynasty has been around for a very long time, from what you can tell. And yeah, so it'd be tough. I mean, latest probably at least thousands of years. Definitely not anything like recent within probably like no earliest like 1,000 years. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Not even like elves from that time would probably still be around. Yeah.
What does, I mean, it's a little obvious, but outside of the obvious, what does Vitora want?
Power, memories, secrets, control.
Over just anyone?
Mortals. Okay, well, all that's happening. They're having that conversation. Umbra, Peter, Renister. You get to go through all of the tombs, nothing except just genuinely dead bodies of deceased people.
As we're going along, I would just turn to Peter. I'm like, how many weirdos do you think we're going to keep adding to our group?
What do you mean weirdos?
Question.
I like
Umbra says.
Go ahead.
Can you quantify a weirdo?
I know. I don't know what he means by that either.
We have a lot of anomalies.
I think that's the nature of the job. I mean, what we do is not normal, so we would attract the unnormal.
It seems like we've come a far away from...
It's unnormal.
Wandering in the jungle to now... Whether a literal celestial? I don't deal with those as much. It's more of the other side of things.
I mean, you're an undead lizard man.
Okay, well, we don't have to be mean. It's normal for me.
Correct. Change your view.
It's not like I have a problem with it. It's just...
It's kind of sound like you do.
You're not going to gaslight me. I'm not aiming.
I gotta keep everything in practice, you know?
Question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Quantify gaslighting.
No, we're not.
They can't because that term was made.
We are not teaching him
when
this.
gaslights were a thing.
I'll inform you later.
He nods.
It's lying. It is lying in a very directed way.
What is lying? Who?
Withholding the truth.
Yes, who is doing that?
No, it's changing the truth.
Peter was to me. Lying to me. He does it for fun. And
For fun.
yes, and Eamon falls for it a lot.
You're teaching him the wrong lessons.
It's not. It's something.
He's like, lying is fun. Awesome.
It's something that psychopaths do.
Your role model thinks
my
lying
ears
is
are
really
burning.
cool.
Yeah,
As
so
we're doing that like as we're.
yeah, you guys go through every single tomb except until you get to the very first one when you come down the stairs to on the east wall to your right.
Are you kidding me?
So the one across. Yeah, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah,
that
maybe we should have split up.
So you
Hindsight's 2020.
one right to the left was where Orvosk was. One right to the right. Going in there immediately, something is off. There is a coffin, lid off on the floor. Empty coffin, like right into the right. No, there's no body in it, as if something has got out of it and left.
Weren't they in the hallway?
They didn't meet the perception roll, I'm assuming.
Things can be stealthy.
I'm going to.
Oh, I'd run upstairs.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd
run
immediately
upstairs.
run upstairs.
Orvosk upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And-
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
as we
I'm
get the hallway, White's escaped. Let's go.
You coming with?
well, let's hope it's the white.
The big dude will his form will slowly morph into a necklace.
I
Now
grab
it's
it.
a heavily rusted gold necklace.
Yeah. I
Okay.
put it on, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
40 other
Run
necklaces you
upstairs.
have?
Yes.
I mean, Umbra,
That was Raiji.
Umbra, Peter, and Renasteer. You guys run up the
Yeah,
stairs
we're running
first.
upstairs.
You're moving very quickly. Peter, you get there first. You'd be a little quicker than
Yeah.
Renasteer. Peter and Umbra, you would. And you see two things.
My speed is 35 for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get there quicker than Umbra. You get there first.
I
You see
would
two
warp
things.
step just.
Yeah, for sure. They're right at the top of the stairs in that main room. There is a unconscious Orvosk. He seems to be completely fine other than being unconscious. He's breathing.
Oh.
There is even a bit of cloth cushioning his head, like someone placed so his head just wasn't on the floor. And then there is a pile of ash similar to what looked like the white that you are already killed turned into when it was killed.
Can I immediately inspect the body to see if somehow it possessed him?
Orvosk?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to immediately check outside.
Okay. Both of you, Eamon and Diego, would get there.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me?
1 second.
Was his wife or something buried
1 second.
here?
The DM's rolling for me.
He seems to just be unconscious. You find a bit of a bruise on the back of his head, like someone chopped the back of his neck, or at least a blunt object was taken to it, and a very clearly deliberate way to knock unconscious but not harm in any way. They do not. Orvus does not seem to be under the effects of anything currently. Granted, a lot of mind magic you would need to have him awake to tell, or
Gotcha.
have a way to detect magic. You go outside. You just catch, to the point where they would be out of view. They're so far away. A hooded humanoid figure, cross over a hill, maybe 150 to
I can't
300
do this.
feet away.
I'm going to yell out here and I fucking take off.
I would run after immediately.
Are we going to decline?
No, you're going
Okay.
up.
Then
something,
I
actually.
have 35 feet of movement. I'm hauling ass.
Okay, so
no way of moving.
I would
faster.
immediately go, and I would just go to. I would look at where he's running, and I would.
Couldn't have thrown a.
You can.
I say
I would warp step.
I'm the fastest one.
I would warp step heightened.
I'll stay back.
Okay.
There's literally no way I'm going to get there with enough
You
efficiency.
probably get about 60 feet and
I'm
everyone passes you, and
Nah,
you're
fuck it.
yeah. You go
I hate
back.
this. I hate this.
Yeah.
I would cast Fleet Step.
Okay. Why doesn't everyone just make a dice roll? Eamon with a +4 circumstance. Peter and Diego with +2.
There's
Of
some,
just
I'll wait to see what you say, but there's something I was gonna do. that
Okay.
might
Oh, this
help
is
a
just
lot.
catching up to
So
whatever.
I would just be
15.
+2.
Yeah, just +2.
16.
19.
Okay.
And as you step outside, none of you have seen this before, but I'm going to smack my staff on the ground, and Eamon, the winds rush up under him, and Eamon flies away towards this thing.
There
Fuck, you can fly.
hero.
I forgot about
This is
that.
a police chase and we got helicopter
Yeah.
coverage.
All I can think
So I
now.
take the light cantrip off my staff, And right as it goes out, you would hear the winds, and Eamon just flies off into the dark, going 55 speed.
I just want.
sorry.
I want the
That's
visual
new.
to saliently be in your minds right now of the sad Renister meme sitting next to this unconscious orc as he's able to fucking fly, and I can't even run fast enough to keep up.
Okay. Phosphorus, you and Diego are pretty you're kind of like running next
And
to
I
each
have
other
like
to some degree.
elf eyes to see like a hawk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I-
elf ears.
I rolled one more than him though.
Yeah, okay, so you're a foot ahead of him.
Well, I rolled 19, so I go first.
Yeah, you're in
yeah,
the air
yeah.
and flying. So yes, you were far. But just you, Diego, and Eamon, you clearly see this. The hooded figure looks like a medium-sized humanoid now that you can kind of see it. Very clearly cloaked in a way to obscure anything specific about them. Basically gets to the point where there's, we'll call it corn, like a tall plant field, and it ducks right into, it runs into the field. Both of you, Diego, see this, and you see it from above. You just want to, if you could just land right in front of it.
I'm just
I mean, I
dive bombing in.
would like to actually warp.
Okay.
Well, okay. What I would do is slightly
I'm covering
different.
his exit way.
What I would do is slightly different, but it will be an aggressive action. So if we're gonna roll initiative, we should.
We're
do
not
that
going to roll
first.
initiative. Unless
Okay.
you guys are attacking it.
No.
I was gonna surround it with a wall of fire, perhaps.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
In the cornfield?
I mean, since
For the
you
good of
care.
the cause.
Didn't it
For the good of the
just
cause.
kill a white?
I don't know. It's running from us.
I was also hiding in a coffin.
Well, we don't
You-
know.
Are we sure?
I don't
both
think
of
this
you-
thing was
I
hiding
think
in
the
a
white
coffin.
was hiding in the coffin.
Both of you can't super tell Diego and Eamon because you're really tracking it based off the movement of the corn, Eamon more than anything. And you're as it gets in the field, you lose sight of it, but you
Yeah,
can
I
obviously
could-
follow its footsteps and
I can
continue to
warp
watch
80 feet instantly.
Yeah, it's further than that away.
Okay.
From when it gets in the cornfield, but it does the figure does shimmer into invisibility. But both of you are aware of roughly where it is
I can take the wall of fire away at any time. So
because you are seeing it it's still moving the corn.
I'm just
so
gonna
you-
do the circle, like a 10-foot tall circle of fire around it as I get within 120 feet, because that's the range of the spell.
Yeah, I mean you do that for
So if
sure.
120 feet away from the sky, this is like an instant snap. This
Yeah.
wall of flame just.
Surround both of us? Am I close enough?
No,
You're in a dueling circle with it. No.
you would not be close enough.
Better hope those
And
ropes
then
are
I'll-
made of
I- I-
asbestos.
I would just call out, you don't have to run.
And I land, and I'll.
I
say the
believe
same
we're
thing.
on the same side.
Are you landing in it or outside of it?
Wait, so do you guys identify
Outside
what
of
was
it.
running?
Nope. No.
Oh, okay.
Humanoid.
Hooded
Hooded.
humanoid figure.
I'm gonna hover. I'm actually gonna hover above the circle.
There is a quick burst of magic. The figure shimmers into existence while it does this, as it seems to teleport. Diego, good sir, you catch the faintest glimpse of a face. A face you recognize, talk to a lot. Anzai.
Oh.
But he teleports, and it doesn't look like to anywhere in the immediate vicinity.
So do I see? It's something of invisibility, right?
Yeah, well, so
But I see a figure like materialize, and
the
then
invisibility kind of drops as it teleports, as there's this glimmer of magic over it, and the figure just disappears.
Are you still in the
don't-
air?
Yeah, you don't.
I'm
see
above the circle. Yeah.
The,
Well, I'm
the
just-
face of Anzai.
So
But
I snap the fire away, take the flying off, and land.
Well,
and
I
I'd be
would
like,
I would say, go back up in the air. Look.
okay. I fly up in the air and I look around
okay, yeah, I will roll for you.
with my elf ears and eyes and dark vision.
Damn it, Eamon! Oh, you're so good.
Oh,
at
God.
that.
Hey, like I said, please chase with helicopter coverage.
Yeah.
Stop
you
right
see-
there.
You see it pretty far ways away, roughly in direction of town.
Is it closer to me?
A bit of movement. No. A bit of movement in the corn.
I still have. I mean, I still have 55 movement speed, and I still have a spell that can. Is it 120 feet away, or can I use a reach spell and make it 150?
What are you doing? What do you want to
Fly towards it and cut it off again.
do? What spell do you want to do?
Probably wall of fire.
Wall of Fire cannot be affected by reach because it's not
Okay.
a target spell.
Okay.
Yeah, I
but
don't want to
you
waste
can-
all my
You can
stuff
do
in case
it.
we
You
get
can
into a
put
fight.
it in there.
Or I would just.
Random.
How far away does this seem to be? I'll say that.
It's
If,
like-
if I
it
can just
is
fly
roughly
to it, then
about-
I'll fly to it.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely moving quicker than it flying.
And I didn't see anything about Anzai, and he didn't tell me anything about Anzai.
No.
So I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just say down to it.
Peter
I
and-
see it. I'm going to go after it. And I
Yeah.
fly away towards it. And I try to cut it off again with the wall of fire in front
Yeah.
of
okay.
it.
So I would like to. I'm running with Eamon as fast as I can, obviously.
Okay.
And then I would like to use my last buff for the cantrip, and I would like to try to teleport into the circle. I'd have to get into within 80 feet.
Are you surrounding it, or are you just wall of fire?
I would, if I just saw a little bit of movement and you would allow me to surround it, I would.
Yeah, you could probably.
But if it's vague enough to where it's like I saw some bushes move, then I would do a 60-foot line to cut it off towards town.
you would feel pretty confident that you could encircle it.
Okay.
again.
Then I would encircle it again and fly again over the top with my staff ready, floating above it. We don't have to do this. Can I roll diplomacy to try to
Yeah, and just let me know when I am
Stop
able
this
to get
thing
in
from
there,
teleporting
or
again?
If I'm able to get in there.
And just let me know when I get there.
I just say we're gonna keep catching you. Might as well talk.
Why don't you roll diplomacy, Eamon?
Do I get circumstance because my firewall and keep catching it? Cool
No.
shit. Okay.
As he finishes talking, you will be in the circle.
Okay.
That is a 19.
19. Okay. Well, first, Peter, by the time that Diego kind of teleports in, you will be by the edge of the fire, just so you know. And as far as your roll goes, Eamon, you see the figure kind of tense up, pause for a second more than anything.
I can dispel the magic on you if I need to.
It's not invisible. It's
Okay.
just the hooded figure now.
So I'm in there now?
Yep.
Reveal yourself.
Bonsai.
And speak. Oh.
You said that?
Mm-hmm. What are you playing at? We have a date tomorrow. I mean, come on.
Anzai?
I'm going to pull 2 bombs up and just like keep them at the ready.
What happened in there?
I'm just approaching him.
You all hear the voice of Anzai.
Mm-hmm.
You approach him.
Yeah.
He holds out his hand for you to stop.
What is going on?
What happened in there?
We slayed a vampire.
Okay. I think I need to talk to you guys about something.
I think so too.
Should we wait till we're back with Ranister?
Hard cut to me. Just
I
wonder if they're having fun
I
out
feel
there.
bad repeating a
Or if
conversation.
us is just like,
I'm like, I have my whip out. Just
Oh, yeah. By the way, did you kill a white?
He nods.
Okay. All right. It's better. But
yeah.
fuck.
I was actually going to check and see if that ash amount was enough to be a white, but I guess it
Yeah.
doesn't matter now.
Okay.
Like, roughly.
yeah.
Let's head back in
Can
a
you
jog.
come with us back to the house?
He nods. Well, to the crypt?
Crypt.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to get Rennis too.
You all go back to Sanctuary without. Like, where the fuck are those guys?
Yeah. He comes back. He keeps
You
his
just see
head up, though.
bursts of flame.
Yeah.
In the distance.
Can I
Something's on fire.
try to like take a peek at him, see if there's like anything under the hood that he's trying to hide?
Yeah. I assume
I would
everybody
immediately
might wanna,
roll to be like, what's
vibe
going on
check
with
him.
this dude?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
And like, read aura.
I would assume Umbra stayed behind. Because I don't know if
Yeah.
Umbra has any move speed moves.
He does not.
Does he say anything to me?
No, he just sits there.
I mean,
He
you can talk
probably
to
helps
him.
you count the ashes.
Now
but-
he's just lying to you for fun.
Read Aura takes a minute to cast, and you would like be very openly casting music. Casting magic. So I don't think it's super feasible for you to do this on the walk back. Because if you like started to cast magic on him, he'd just be like, "Stop, or I'm gonna leave."
Okay, then just
As far as vibe
Detect
checking
magic.
him, no magic on him. Nothing pings magic from you, Eamon. Not a lot to pick up from a hooded, like just body language for Diego and for Peter and Eamon.
I've spent a lot of time around like spies and that kind of folk. Is this kind of triggering that feeling of like the type of person that's walking back?
I mean, context clues I think would give you that more than anything.
I know,
because like you can't really, like I said,
Well,
face is obscured. He's very clearly not trying to give anything away in the way that he is moving and stuff. But I mean, yeah, that would probably point you to someone who like to even attempt to do that means you like have been trained and to not do that. Probably.
I know, like you have anything like specialized like on himself or
Doesn't
okay.
seem like it. He looks to be wearing his pretty normal clothes, other than this like hooded thing he has on. Diego, you catch another glimpse of his face. He looks incredibly conflicted. Like, not in any way that you've seen like mind magic do it or whatever, but just like someone who has had the core concept of like his existence shattered in a weird way, or like at least confronted in a way. His face seems distant in a way that he's thinking of things that aren't like that. Like, even though the three of you are here, he's like so deep in his own thoughts. It's pretty intense. But yeah, you get back.
You see me land from flight.
Oh, nice of you to join me.
Yeah.
What? Wait, I'm assuming I see it's Anzai now.
Yeah.
What?
You catch a glance.
What the fuck are you doing here?
He like motions for everyone to go into the room.
I would just shut the door behind me, and if there's a lock it.
He looks to you, Diego, and he like motions for a bell.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
I'm like, have my hand.
Should we
at my
scoot
side,
Orvusk
staring
out of
at him.
the circle? Or?
He's
Just kick him out.
dead asleep.
Is there-
You just sleep?
is there an
You can wake
upstairs
up
room?
whenever.
No, there's just this one chamber.
I would take him down. He had the room downstairs, right? Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe we should keep an eye on him. I just put him.
You can put him slightly down the stairs so that he's out of this area. He won't roll down.
Like in a laundry
I'll glue him
basket
to the
sliding
stairs.
down the stairs.
Okay.
like to the wall of the stairs.
But yeah, Anze sits. He quickly inspects the room, like very intently for a bit. And then he sits and he takes off his hood. Seems Anze is just sitting in front of you. He's just sitting on the floor in front of all of you, like crisscross applesauce.
What's going on, Anzai?
I'm
you
looking.
okay?
I'm looking for tea in the kitchen.
There is no kitchen.
Damn it! But is there tea?
No.
I reach into my bag of holding and I pull out a teapot and cups.
You've ordered
Tea.
Yeah,
Tea,
sure.
anyone?
I guess.
Yes,
He looks to you, Renister.
tea, Onzai.
What is this? What kind of? I'm getting distracted. What? Why are you here?
He looks to you, Renister. He says, "Why do you do what you do?"
To help people, to save people's lives from what you may have seen downstairs. That's the whole purpose for it. What? Why do you ask?
Doesn't really matter at this point because your lives are already in grave danger. But what I'm about to tell you could get you all killed.
Wouldn't be the
it'll
first
change
time.
much.
Don't
I'm a
worry,
Kari.
that does genuinely scare me.
You're a Kari.
The kind that people don't talk about, even though the Kaikari are already not super talked about.
So the Kukari?
Kukari.
Yes, sorry. It's a little confusing. Anzai is referring to the Kaikari, but the implication is that he is a Kukari. Yes. The Kaikari are the known about secret police. The Kukari are the rumored secret police. They're basically civilians. Well, civilians. But he says, when you guys showed up at the knockout, I was in place to keep an eye on the Krogan cartel. That directive changed once my boss learned about you guys. It's to get close with you. Raiji left. Diego entered. Told him a lot.
Like?
Everything. Think of it. I've told him it. Abilities. Generally what you guys are up to. He knows.
Plans?
He knows.
Date
about-
plans?
No, not yet. He knows about Faxon.
Oh.
He knows that Faxon is dead. I was under the impression you guys were bad people. And I'm sorry I was wrong. He says like almost kind of holding back tears of like, it's very clear that he was under the impression that you were a danger to the city. And like, this is the night that it finally clicked for him of him tailing you and like you guys literally killing like the thing his whole order is designed to protect the city about, and like just getting to know all of you. He's like, it's very clear. He's like, I fucked up so big.
You would see Renister's knuckles like gripping at his whip and sort of reset his brain for a second
Eamon's intently watching Renister.
and like let go of the whip for a second and breathe in, breathe out. What were you told by your commanding officers? I'm not, as you can probably tell, we don't know much about the Kukari.
You are a member of the Order of Iker. a undead organization. That in itself is kind of all most of us need to know.
If you can.
He looks to you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the
Register.
no-kill list.
No kill list?
I don't know why.
What? I'm on a kill list.
Yeah. The rest of you are disposable.
That's very offensive.
We were approaching the point, I believe. I have no contact outside of, as you are already aware, suspicious of Shintami. He's the only one I have contact with.
You have contact with Shintami?
Not directly. He comes to see my matches. He talks to me telepathically.
Interesting. Very vampiric behavior.
How were we supposed to die?
Sorry.
Huh?
Were they going to plan an assault? What were they going to do?
I have no idea. I gave more information than I was given. I'm sorry.
Can we trust you now?
I don't think there's anything I could say that would change your opinions of that.
Were you worried about being followed?
No. From what I understand, it was getting to the point where me alone wouldn't be enough. As you could say, you were getting pretty close to the cuckoo nest. I realize cuckoo's a thing. I didn't mean it in that
Okay.
way. It's just a saying.
Kukari.
Anzai doesn't say that because he's not like aware of cuckoo. But yeah. But from what I understand, Shintami wanted to take a very hands-off approach. I was the only one involved because of that. There were plenty of people on standby. Most of you are in Ward 7, a decent amount. That's where the Kari home base is. At any point, they could have been mobilized. So,
Would they risk going to the other wards?
I mean, I was in Ward 8.
No,
I don't know where
like en masse.
Yeah, if deemed necessary. And like I said, or not, maybe not like I said, but the Kukari are, I am aware of no other Kukari than myself. That's how we function.
Is it
So-
already decided that we are to be disposed of, or is it something you can go back to Shintami and explain what you've seen?
I don't know if there's much.
I think we'd be good friends to the Kukari having killed a vampire.
I don't think that is the motive necessarily. I don't think.
You think Shintami's a vampire? He says to you, Diego, bluntly.
Oh, yes. At least
Okay.
I don't.
vampiric.
I would say that there is little shadow of a doubt in my mind now that you've confirmed this, that he is in fact a vampire.
I don't mean to doubt you, but the Kaikari are maybe the most gifted individuals at identifying undead on this continent.
And the
If he-
Strigoi are the most capable of concealing themselves in the shadows.
Fair enough.
We
My only real point was that if he's a vampire, he is by no means a conventional one.
Of course,
yes, and
he's
by
not.
nature he is one of a bloodline of very powerful vampires that have lasted long enough to avoid the gaze of even the most talented individuals. You know of my order, you know what we do. We are by nature.
I do not know what you do.
Well, then let me tell you that we hunt other undead and vampires. That is our sole purpose. But I can tell you, if you know that I'm a vampire, we have pretty close linked information to vampiric natures. And even with that advantage, it's very hard for us to identify this level of vampire. And what better way to have lapdogs under a vampire and remove doubts about your legitimacy in a political seat than to have people who are the best of the best underneath them.
He nods. There's another thing.
Oh,
Umber's important. I don't know why.
we figured as much.
To Shintami.
That we did not know.
I only say that because out of all of you, He's asked about Umbra the most.
When did you first see
When?
Umbra for yourself?
When I
did
was
you-
poking around Sanctuary
So Sanctuary is
What does
definitely
he ask?
compromised.
Where did you see him?
in his room.
What does he ask about Umbra?
So,
His
wait,
condition
where did you see
mental
Umbra at?
state. In your room under Sanctuary. I've been under Sanctuary.
Okay.
I figured
Which
as
entrance
much.
did you go to?
Both. I didn't go through the back one though. It's a lot more trapped.
I'm trying to establish. Did you tell them about the traps?
Yep. They know,
Gotta rearrange fucking everything.
Yes.
like I said, everything.
So his status, his condition. Whether
He talks about him as if he cares about his well-being, which is odd. He does not. I've never heard him speak of someone like that before. Not
He's
even
a
his own
vampire.
son.
He's old enough to have been there when something like Umbra was.
Plus, if we have any
something
connotation-
like Umbra he's just a rat man.
if we have any,
So why would he take so much interest? That would be the question.
I think the key to this is what we found in Cuckoo's location. They seem to have an interest in various forms of creating life, and Umbra is one of his own kind.
Are you
What?
still required to go back and tell your boss everything you hear here?
I was not planning on it.
Can I roll to see? Because he might not even have a choice as
Yeah,
far as like
I will roll for you.
investigator plus stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he seems pretty genuine. I mean, you are aware there are plenty of mind magics, whether Anzai is aware that they're being used on him or not, that could, like, look through memories and stuff. He would even posit that he knocked out Orvusk and modified his memory so that he was not aware that Anzai was ever here. Like, Anzai did that. So, I mean, that's an ability that the Kukari have, is like searching through and modifying memories. So
Have you
How
done that
much-
to anyone else?
not.
That would affect us.
Did you
No.
only
I
overwrite
was told
his?
to be a very hands-off approach.
Did you only overwrite his memory of you, or this entire evening?
Just me.
Could you erase the rest?
I could.
Would you be willing to do so?
Yes.
Thank you. But my follow-up question is, what do you intend to do now?
I don't know.
Well, you
I
better be
figured
there
you-
for the date tomorrow.
I think.
Our Celestial's still here too.
What?
Nope.
Our Celestial is still here.
Oh yeah,
too.
the necklace.
It's
is
a necklace.
Okay. I didn't know if he could like.
I know.
He can't hear or see anything through there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not like aware of what's happening. So.
Yeah.
I was saying that out of game, not in game.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't assume.
Our
you were-
Celestial.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just realized that Orvith? What is it? The orc guy's name?
Orvusk.
Orvusk. The whole reason he said we couldn't go in there is because it caved in, and now it is genuinely caved in.
It was more fire than anything else. It's more
Was
like
it?
a cleansing.
Gotcha.
It was ball of sunlight, like cleanses the area.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about?
I said
You-
the date.
What he would do
Whoa,
next.
the day,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I asked him what he'd be doing next.
I don't know.
What do you believe? I'll ask the same question as you asked me. What is it that you strive to accomplish?
To protect Wakuzano. And I think you're the city's best bet.
Do you know where I live?
Yeah, third
Shit.
floor.
Do you know who I...
I know about Marcy, Kite, Kier, Gradostas. Been to the Arcane Assembly quite a bit. Assume there's strong connections there. You recently went to the Steel Brands.
I'm going to
Um,
say this out of a mutual understanding, because I don't think you would be telling us any of this if you were not conflicted. And in a genuine sense, of course, that's obvious, but I do not believe you're trying to deceive us, although I am going to roll for it.
Yeah. I'll give everyone.
Says that, but-
I'll roll everyone a just general. Yeah, I mean, like you say, he does seem pretty, just like conflicted. But you're all pretty confident that like that comes from a genuine place of like just what he's talking about, and all of this being like his whole life he's been trained to protect the city in a covert way. He was led to believe that you guys were an issue to the city, and over time of interacting with you became to realize that just didn't check out for him, and tonight was the final straw. But it just like that's still a lot to come to the conclusion of. And then if it isn't clear from the conflictiveness, this is probably this puts him in so much danger. If any of, let alone Shintami, if any of the Kari, of any Ku or Kai Kari, like he would disappear to never have ever existed.
You know of the man Renastir, but do you know of the man before Renastir?
Is this like a metaphor?
No.
Okay, no.
I'm a Dampier. I died.
Okay.
And before that, I was Sengal of Wakuzana.
He shakes his head.
How do you spell that?
Sangal. I was a guard here, a very low-ranked guard. And I died trying to protect the city. I gave my blood for the city. All I want now is to make sure that it can continue on and to accomplish what I have failed to do in my original life. And I feel with that conflict written across your face, you feel the same way. I know that you wish the same in that regard. And I will tell you that my resolve is that Sengal died for this city, and Renastir will willingly put down his second chance to make sure that this city continues to thrive and live, and the people here are not manipulated and used by the people that were put in positions to help them and not oppress them in such a manner, and to use people like you in your virtues as their pawns.
He nods. A little bit of the conflict leaving. But I mean, still a lot for one night.
I know it's not going to all rest and have you make a decision right away. But all I ask of you is that what you have not reported as of yet, either just a fraction enough to satiate their curiosity and not suspect you of anything, but at least leave out some of the more important parts of tonight, like the Vetalarana that we have been fighting with.
I will say, if out of nowhere I started just giving back reports to Shintami that you guys were, not looking into him and such, it would be...
You can say that we were looking.
Quite alarming.
Just not that we found it.
Yeah.
And I'd say we killed 2 whites as well.
I'm assuming you know that we are attending the ball.
You're looking into it, yeah.
Then you can just tell him that is what we have been making preparations for, and vampires. That is what he knows already, but you don't have to tell him that we've already come across the Vetalarana itself. Mainly because, by all intents and purposes, if he is a Strigoi, he is looking for it as well. And I don't know its plans yet, but I imagine if it is able to achieve anything with Umbra or the Vetalarana, it will strengthen its foothold in the city.
I'm just saying that. I don't think I can stop giving reports. I think that would be a...
No, I'm saying
flag.
Continue it. I'm saying just leave parts out.
Okay.
Enough that it's not suspicious, but leave out enough that there's a blind spot.
If I'm good at anything, it's lying, so...
I figure.
Did you know what ran into us the other night when we were on our way to Sanctuary? What came out of the puddles?
Oh, no, that shit was weird. I did not know anything about that.
Me neither.
Okay.
So, as much as I enjoy this conversation, and, it's very riveting right now, we still have a Vetalarana to coup de grace, so we should probably get moving.
However, we must find a new place. Sanctuary has been compromised.
Everywhere has been compromised.
again, do anything too drastic, you risk tipping them off that you know too much.
I think it's fine that they know where we're at. We just have to prepare it even more.
You're correct in that.
And I will.
And our dwarf is still there.
Which is what we need to check on.
Yes, we should.
Let's hurry up. We head
get
back
to the
there.
matter of hands. At hand.
Matter of hands.
Matter
Let
of
me
hands.
see your
I'm high
fingernails.
again. I ate more of that fruit. I don't know how I have
Put
it.
your hands up.
If you come to a decisive decision on what you plan to do, then meet us at Sanctuary within the next few days. But if we don't hear from you, I will assume that you have either left or are not on our side of
I think no
things.
matter what, he's probably going to meet us.
For the sake of you four, I won't leave. That would be another red flag.
Fair enough.
I think what would be best is for me to just keep business as usual and leave out the juicy bits, if you will, of your...
Well,
I mean,
we'll have enough juicy bits tomorrow night.
Yeah, you can tell him all about the date.
Like I said, though, as well, last time I spoke with him, it seemed like we were close to the point where I was not enough. So that could have changed between then and now.
Well,
I can say with confidence we weren't followed tonight. Well, I mean, obviously you followed.
As of now.
Yeah, he says kind of like a little embarrassed because he clocks. I followed you.
You said
It's
that
fair. You didn't know I could fly yet.
you
Yeah.
said that the
True, that was new for me as well.
you said that the Kukari work as individual agents. Is that correct? Are you?
From my understanding, the whole point is that none of us know who the other Kukari are.
But if you were to have to convene on us, you would be possibly doing so with other Kukari?
My only direct contact has been Shin Tommy ever since I was a Kukari. I think that's how all the Kukari work.
I'm assuming that if you were put in a situation that you were grouped together with more Kukari, should the hit on my compatriots happen, I imagine you probably wouldn't be able to sway them.
No, I would also posit that I wouldn't know that was happening.
I see.
I don't think Shintami would tell me. This is me inferring from the way he has talked about you the last time we spoke. And that you were getting close enough that it seemed like I wasn't enough anymore. That could have already changed. And
What if we
like I
find
said,
something else?
We go about business as usual, just with more of a wary eye.
Yep. And again, none of us goes off alone.
Agreed.
What if we find something else that has, quote unquote, taken our attention,
Like?
like the Vetalarana? We could use that to our advantage to take some of the heat off of us.
How so?
Well, if we just found its lair, maybe assuming that we're closing in on the Vetalarana now and much less of a focus on the Archeo family.
What have you said about Peter?
more from just my curiosity than anything. Can you use magic?
No.
Okay. Well, Shintami thinks you can.
It's probably for the best.
Why?
Rat boy.
That I fucking hate you so much.
Okay, first of all, I'm making it so our enemies don't know what your abilities are. I think that's actually very beneficial.
Why do they think I can use magic?
Well, because not to be rude.
Okay,
Clearly
I
you're the
haven't
magnificent
actually
Marvel
heard
and
the
Rat Boy.
story. I know what I know what he said.
Rat boy is training to learn magic. I didn't see any evidence of that, but
You
it's
guys
spread
see
enough
like
through the
like
city.
another blood vessel like pop.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying this is all beneficial for everybody. Look, Umbra's got the merch.
So all they
Still wearing the shirt. I mean, he probably wouldn't have worn it out, but he can take it out and put it back on.
Yeah.
so all he knows
it back on.
so all they know about me right now is that I could possibly use it's everything that he said in the story.
I mean, and that I've told them. You're a skilled alchemist. From what I understand, you had some connection to the Skitters,
Okay.
killed Faxon. What else is there?
He didn't kill Fax.
Do you guys actually know do you know my real identity?
No.
Oh,
I mean, the way you say it implies no. Are you not Peter?
no.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of surprised it stays hidden.
Especially
Yes.
with Raidi around.
Yes,
That's
with
fair.
the muscled buffoon.
So why were you asking what he does about me?
I'll save it for later.
Fair.
Should we part ways?
What do they say
For
about
the
me?
record,
How powerful do you say I am?
Yeah.
Who's the biggest threat of the group from their eyes?
he points to Aemon.
Fuck.
He's the main character, of
Magic,
course.
That's fair.
magic is the most unpredictable, and from what I understand, he wields the most of it.
Whittle me.
Yeah, I'm just the sacrificial mentor trope, so
Mm-hmm. You will die.
yeah. Oh, I'm not leaving the second season.
Do you have any? Do you know why you would be important? He says because he's been directed to under no circumstances kill you. Same with Umbra, but I felt like that was kind of implied.
I imagine it might have something to do with my blood. I am not a normal Dampier.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not certain. I don't know if they mean to, at some point, try to manifest some of that in some way, or to use me to possibly potentially create another vampire. But most of that is speculation. I can't quite say, since up until now I have been back and forth on even if we have a Sturgoy in such a high position of power.
Okay. I should probably get going.
Thought you were going to stay with us.
I don't think that's a good idea.
We both live at Kite's place.
I thought you
so-
both said. I thought you just said that you're supposed to stay on us.
Yeah.
From afar.
I mean, I'm not going to be
Not like
with
live
you
with
guys.
us.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'll still be at kites and stuff.
Yes,
You
which
see,
is
he takes
also
a
where
moment-
I'm going to be.
He takes a deep breath in and
Need that
out,
beauty sleep.
and a lot of like that tension. It's almost like a reset method where he's just like back to normal Anzai, and he kind of puts his hood up.
Maybe
If
we
not-
should all go to Sanctuary
the last thing I will say
for the
to-
sake of our friend that's there.
Yes, but if you come across
We all
The
need to be
dwarf,
there.
the dwarf.
Anzai, if you come across any information that could aid in, especially my companion's survival, if you see things how we do, please tell us as soon as you can.
The last thing I'll say is if I were going to get to the four of you, I would do it through the people that are close to you that aren't nearly as competent. I don't know about Umber's level of competence. I haven't been around him doing much, but top of the list would be Kite, your girlfriend who looks to you, Eamon, maybe all the Sarmons. Kier, though, that would be just a play of...
Out of game, there's no way he could make the connection that my parents are the bakers I go to, right? 'Cause
Probably
he
not.
He didn't know I was...
Unless, I mean, he is not aware, unless in some way...
they know that I'm...
Yeah, like
guard.
because it's pretty clear that Shintami would. There's no way Anzai knows everything that Shintami or
Right,
stuff
right.
knows. But
I'm
at
saying
very
by
least
me
Anzai-
just going into the bakery, it's not like, oh, that's his parents.
no, it would not seem like
Well, it probably helps too that they're not lizards.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only way they would know is if,
they knew
you were
that
Songal.
I'm the
Yeah.
Do you know of any skitters currently here in the city?
The only thing that is worth mentioning that is a possibility is Faxon was hired to kill you. So
Kill me.
Yeah,
yeah,
originally.
he killed you. Or he's a person.
Oh, yeah,
who killed you.
I thought
yeah.
I for some reason I
there's
was
a connection
thinking
there,
specifically
so-
when he tried to kill.
Yeah. If we are to believe that the shadows are a connection to the Strigoi
Right.
that are like
Right.
interfacing with Faxon,
Yeah, but he didn't seem to recognize me either. Correct?
not really. No.
When we interrogated him.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a.
I'm just saying, like there's
a small
yeah.
yeah. Of course, I'm not.
You can't guarantee anything.
If
yeah.
there were a situation that they knew that, it's not out of the realm of question. It's just
doesn't seem very
based
likely in
on
your
the
mind.
people nearest to this. It seems like they're unaware of
Yeah.
who I am.
If anything, even in today's like they know about Kier, and from an outside perspective, he means more to you anyways at this point. Even if
True,
they knew they were your
true.
parents, you've visited them
Plus,
twice.
I think the more
and you live under Kier.
I think the more striking thing that they've seemed to be focused in on is the fact I'm a Dampier anyway, as opposed to like,
Yeah.
oh, that's that guard from that one time.
Yeah.
Do you know who the skitters are in the city? Like individually?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, I assume one,
Got it.
which would be the one that showed up with Fitcher. Yeah, you should probably tell him to get out of town.
I'm planning on it.
Now that he thinks about it, because he definitely told Shintami about that. So,
Well, at least Fitcher's already gone. So, let's head on back.
Yes.
yeah, he leaves.
Yeah, I'd probably leave the orc. I'd probably just leave.
Just put him in the bed. Or
Yeah, I'd probably
something?
just take him downstairs, put him in bed. I'm assuming Anzai does the mind trick thing like I asked him to do. Okay.
Yeah,
Sweep the ash under the rug
yeah.
or into
Yeah.
the fireplace.
Probably clear up any evidence of, and like, I mean, obviously stuff's
Yeah,
broken.
now there's actual damage to like justify it being closed.
Mhm.
Yes.
So he can just like modify the memory to make it seem like he's just been working on
Gotcha. Okay, and then we would go back to Sanctuary unless something happened.
Fire went off in here.
Something
that.
happened.
Yeah, nothing would happen on the way.
Can we talk a bit on the way?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do we all
Do we
need to
want to
go to
talk?
Sanctuary?
I think we should.
I think we need to see
I mean,
this
we can
through
walk just as
right
fast
now.
while we chat, just for the sake of. It'd be awkward, like in game, just to be like silent all the way home.
I don't know. A lot just got revealed. I feel like I wouldn't be talking much.
You don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should all go to Sanctuary just to finish off this fucking Vetalarana, and then we'll deal with what we can.
I think we should have a discussion directly after we check in on the Vetalarana situation.
Would you guys want to accompany me to go talk to the Sarmons at some point? Not now, obviously, but
Absolutely.
One of us should at least go.
Yes.
Minimum.
Pairs.
because if not, I mean, I need to go do it regardless. But I would like someone to come.
That is why I think we have a conversation immediately.
Who do you want to go with you?
I don't. All of you can come at this point. I don't care. Whatever's the safest. It's
Maybe-
less about giving off eyes now because they know everything.
Maybe we make this decision once we have a set plan.
Yeah, you can just visibly see like lots of crazy shit has happened tonight. Eamon's never seen a vampire like that, but like what freaked him out the most is once the Sarmons were mentioned, he's pretty shaken up.
I think that we should definitely go to the Arcane Assembly at some point.
Well, if the dwarf isn't possessed, we have to go to the Arcane
yeah,
Assembly.
correct. But
First stop, Sanctuary.
That we
Yes.
know. Those are the only ones that we know of.
That we
yes,
know
the-
of.
At
that's
least
all we can go
look
off
at what
of
we
right
can
now.
control.
To which this would make it number 5 total that we've seen so far.
Man, I don't know.
2 whites, 3 individuals. I don't think we've seen anyone else like that.
And the only one,
That we killed.
that was just being turned into an actual vampire. Like it's
Oh, yeah,
yeah, he was a Vetalarana at that point. A much weaker one, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only one that conceivably the Vetalarana doesn't know that we have is the one at the Arcane Assembly.
There's 2 at the Arcane Assembly.
The student,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the dwarf.
I would assume he knows we have all of them. Because I think he
Check
mentioned.
in.
I think he was
Yeah.
pissed at me for that.
Oh yeah, probably checked in. Low service.
Checked in, found out everything's glued shut.
Cannot connect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Bluetooth
number cannot
unavailable.
be completed as dialed.
Yeah, I mean, you guys get back to Sanctuary. Kier's there.
What time would it be by now?
It'll be pretty late. You're getting probably be like 11, 12 by the time
Because
you
we're
get back
kind
to
of like
Sanctuary.
outside of town a little bit, right?
Yeah, you're an hour and a half out of town. So by the time you get back, it would probably be 11.
I might need to tell my current employer that they might want to close shop for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that
Close shop for a
Anzai
couple
didn't
weeks.
mention it because you would be aware that, and from what Anzai knows, it's pretty clear that the emotional connection for
With-
you
is
is not
here,
really
yeah.
with them. I don't think they'd benefit much from taking them
Gotcha.
any more than they would from like harming any innocent.
random
We
civilian.
can't.
Yeah, so
We
I wouldn't
can't-
worry about that too
we
much.
can't jump to setting off alarms, though.
Yeah, I agree, but
I just mean going to my girlfriend's
let's-
house isn't odd.
No,
get the
I'm just-
sanctuary.
just saying.
So I would check on the dwarf. I would remove the.
Oh, so you get in Sanctuary?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Kier's there.
At least we know
Oh.
we have one less set of eyes on it.
You
How's
got
it
a
going?
gun, Kier?
No.
Do you want?
I actually said- I didn't actually
Do you want a
say
flamethrower?
No.
Okay.
Well, he looks to the fire pit of where he lights the stew. Yes.
Well, you might.
I can get you a better solution than
okay,
flamethrower.
but
Okay.
okay, but you might also light up.
Drilling it on a cauldron.
It's like a line.
All right.
you're not here, Umbro does it.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna go downstairs now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember our friend Anzai that came to help?
Mm-hmm.
If you see him again when we're not here, can you let us know?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to the coffin.
Yeah.
The
I'll
crypt.
unglue the coffin,
Okay, yeah.
open it up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any movement? I'm going to slap him.
I was going to slap him.
Okay, yeah. You slap it. Yeah. Amen, Peter. There's just a bit of movement as if something is acting as if it is unconscious.
Okay, I guess it's not him, and I'll shut the coffin.
Okay.
And then I will...
Well, so verbalize what you did.
Sorry, yeah, that's a good point. I will hold up my hands.
Yeah.
I'll hold up my hands to silence everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm going to hold my hand up to Diego and like ring the
It
bell.
is lovely Veza we are having.
It would have been an hour.
Pink Panther
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah, I would get out of the
Range of it.
Range.
Yeah, you just do it
still
in
in
it. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I saw he was.
You see a glued up dwarf staring out of the tube.
So yeah, I ring the bell.
All right, so he's in there. So I'd say we got two choices. Well, either way, we have to wait until we get those coffins, secure the other people in them. One of the options we could do is secure all three, because once he's in the coffin, he can't do shit.
I would imagine this means we've
Can we
got
put
all
them
of
all on cold iron now?
That's what I'm saying. We still need to get the coffins. But if we secure the other two in cold iron, kill him, that might actually kill him for good. The other option is secure all three and wait for your leader to come back.
That is much more of a... That's not the guarantee. That would take way more time than we have.
You are aware enough as well. Lark is a lot of things. He's quite competent in a lot of stuff. A turned Vetalarana, a possessed Vetalarana, not much you can do.
Other than what we've already
There's not
set in motion.
really a way to exorcise them. That's why they're so dangerous, is because once you're comatose, not a lot you can do.
All right. So
I would say well, let's go with that plan and the first plan, and then I would like to walk out of the silence
real quickly,
and just kind of ramble to myself a little bit, like I would normally do, just so it doesn't sound suspicious that it just got super quiet.
Real quickly, just before we get away from this out of game, I know it's been a minute. I know we talked to Kite about when the coffins are going to show up. When did he say that they're going to
I
arrive?
think it was like tomorrow.
I think it was literally this following day.
No.
That was when we were thinking of the helmets.
Can it be?
My bad.
Yeah. He doesn't have Amazon Prime?
Technically, today is still the end of the second day. They are getting here at the end of the fourth day.
Fuck.
Or
Okay.
around the mid to evening of the fourth day.
I think we need to talk to the head of the assembly.
I agree.
He might have some way to hold the Vetalarana.
I mean,
I feel like he would have told us if we would have.
I mean,
Well,
you know
I
how.
know.
If it is fully encased in cold iron, there's quite literally nothing of that.
Maybe
we
they
don't have
do.
the cold iron though. That's
Correct. But they correct.
another
The
option.
main issue you guys are butting up against is that conceivably the mental rebirth could happen before you get a cold iron coffin. At that point, if the Vetalarana is not in cold iron, it's probably going to escape
This
to
could
some
be
degree.
risky as far as risk to us. But say we take two of our helmets, put them on the two other bodies.
I think it has to be completely encased, correct?
If it's
Yeah.
protecting the head, it can't go into it, right? Unless
No, that just helps with the
I
mental
clarified, it was a while ago in terms of out of game time. For it to do the mental rebirth or possession of a comatose thing, there needs to be not air can't even get in.
How much cold iron do we have in our helmets?
Probably not even enough to
I have
make
a circlet.
one coffin.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a coffin.
Oh, okay.
I might get a little dark here.
I have a shrinking potion.
How much?
Oh my!
I was going to
God.
melt down the cold iron and place. If we shrink the dwarf, place him in there and would case him solid.
The only
I
issue
can
is the
make-
shrink would run off pretty quick.
I can make
Would wear off
two
That would
two
kill him.
large
Yeah, it
spikes.
would
I can make two large spikes out of cold iron every day.
I don't think they stay.
There's nothing in there that says they go anywhere. They come out of the ground, they're there.
Yeah, I'm going to say they don't stay because it's one of those things where it's like, does the spell not specify that they don't stay? No, but it's clearly not an implement of the spell to be able to have on-demand cold iron to like use for crafting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
You
but
could
that just feels like a
harvest it.
creative thing, not like a spam.
I mean, you could try to use it, but as soon as the spell ends, it would also just go away.
But
It's not like you're creating cold iron.
I
You are
am.
summoning
Conjuring
it,
it, yeah.
and then it goes away.
If we can go and get cold iron right now, we may be able to melt it down, and then.
I mean, we could use our.
Yes, but
we
if-
could use.
I don't know
We
if we.
could use our helmets.
I don't know if we have enough to cover a dwarf.
if we shrank him.
Yes,
But
he
then
will-
once he shrinks back, it might expand, and
it could
just
also
kill the dwarf.
even
but at
if
that point he won't be encased.
even if we're willing to
I
sacrifice.
don't know if he'd
this
break
dwarf,
the.
I think
box.
I don't think there is a willing. I think we have to. I don't think he's a dwarf anymore.
Yeah, I don't think there's any option.
Yeah, no matter what,
They're dead.
unless you can willingly get this Vetalarana out of the dwarf, which good fucking luck.
but it couldn't jump to other bodies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sacrifice myself for this guy.
Might give it a shot.
I have a shrinking potion that'll last for an hour. I mean,
All we have to do is kill it when it's encased.
Which
That or kill it when it's not in range of anything else to get into.
But if we
I'll-
encased it in
I
something
will tell
small
you
and you
this.
rigged
most-
it inside to kill it,
Yeah, that's true. I will tell you this. Out of all of them, the dwarf's probably in the worst position and the weakest of the things that it currently has
I was going
controlled.
to say the most
There's-
dangerous is
why
the
don't-
teacher.
why
There's
don't-
probably a reason it came to this one.
Mhm.
It was probably the only one in its range out of the
Yes.
three that you know of.
So why don't? Okay, let's just
So
take,
you,
Run it out of
you
the
probably
city.
have a rough estimate of its range.
let's go to that lair.
how long does it take for you to make the carriage?
like a long time.
Yeah.
I guess we could take him back to the cemetery then.
We can literally just bribe someone for a horse and cart and pay for it.
How far is it from here to the cemetery?
like 2.5 hours.
Like you
How
say
far is
bribe.
it from the cemetery to the academy?
Oh, a lot longer. Like 5.
Okay,
Why don't we just ride through the night as far as we can,
yeah.
I agree.
off into the wilderness,
And so
rest while we can when someone else drives?
Do I know what happens if if the Vetalarana were killed in its vessel farther away from the other two? What happens
only
to
1
the
hour.
other two vessels that it now no longer has
Let's go
range
do
of?
it.
So what
Do
happens
you need help,
is, whether there's no one within reach or they're within cold iron or blah blah blah, if there is nowhere for the Vetalarana to go, it dies.
Sure. And so, but what happens to the other, like the teacher?
Once the Vetalarana is dead, they wake up.
Okay, so
They are
the
no
dwarf,
longer
dwarf is
comatose.
the sacrificial
Yep.
fun.
I think let's go up. Let's make the carriage right out of the city. Kill him.
it only takes an hour to make the carriage.
Okay, so then we
Apprentice,
can,
do you want to study the maps with me and we can see where the most remote place would be?
You guys stay here. Make sure. Just secure him.
once
We'll
we
go
have
up and
this
make the
taken care
carriage.
of, we should have that.
What should I do? Umber says.
Can 2 people help?
It's only one. It's only one secondary caster.
Who do you like? What do you need more of?
It's crafting,
Crafting,
or,
okay, yeah.
or driving a lore. So
Yeah.
unless
Should I
for
watch-
Umbra
sure
has a
wants to.
license,
Should
I
I
don't
watch
know.
the dwarf?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we should have the conversation once we get back there.
Or,
The sooner,
or at least
that-
watch the coffin.
The sooner.
Yeah, he's not going to open it up.
Do you have any incapacitating spells?
I
said
know
Umbra?
everyone is not
Yes.
preparing for a
I
fight
have
with the
a poison.
Vetalarana because we can
Remember
just
how that
kill it
worked?
with a spike. But
He's not a Vetalarana.
I understand. I'm not worried about that because we can stake it, obviously. But if we make drastic moves, that might also be when the Kukari make their move. If we conjure a cart, throw a coffin in it, and we're riding as fast as we can out of town, we might not have to worry about fighting a vampire, yes. But we might have to fight Kukari.
But the cart's fast.
Kukari have horses too.
But on top of
But I
that,
could
we
throw
still
bombs.
have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So
I think
I understand. I'm just making everybody aware. This isn't just a win as far as we're
If we
safe from combat.
if,
I think-
if we had more time, we could come up with something a little bit more under the table. But
I'm not saying we should do
unfortunately-
anything different. I'm just saying prepare yourselves for combat.
Okay.
Maybe not with a vampire, but maybe with Kukari.
All right, let's go.
Let's
make
keep
it.
going, dude. Let's go.
Do we want
Sun's not
to
even
take
down
him
yet.
out of the city? Do we want to put the dwarf in the bag of holding?
Dwarf's not going to fit. They're stocky individuals. I think a motherfucker got broad shoulders.
Can cut them up.
You could,
We can't kill him just
but
yet.
you can't kill him here.
You have a
So
bandsaw down here?
Yeah. So
there.
give me a crafting
If
check.
it wasn't
while
a
you're trying to
pocket
take the
dimension,
carriage.
though, would it be able to? If it is in a pocket dimension,
It's not going to fit in before you chop it up enough where it dies.
Nothing makes me softer in tabletop games than like getting into the dimension talks. Man.
Okay, so Peter, give me that crafting check for the ritual.
31.
31. +2 circumstance to your esoteric lore.
Oh, still just a +2, not a +4?
Critical success +2 is the most you can get.
Fuck.
It's just most rituals have more than one caster, so like you stack it up.
It's just my 13, right?
Yeah, so plus 15 now because of his circumstance.
31.
31.
Do we crit again?
Yeah, it's a crit success.
God, we are so good at making these
What
things.
two
Yeah, I mean,
destinations do you want?
that's our best things.
Yeah.
Do you want to say out to that previous lair we've gotten?
Yeah. I mean,
What-
it's
what
like
layer?
The Barghast lair?
That probably wouldn't be. What's the range of it?
it's like 200 miles.
Because we used the
250
carriage
miles.
last time. We don't actually need to go there. We just need like a place.
So you couldn't go to the Barghast Lair because it does need a road. It only actually follows.
Oh,
Renister and I were looking
correct.
at maps
The
to
vineyard.
try to decide that. So you guys can work on building it. We can work on deciding where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I can go 250 miles one way and 250 miles to another destination, and then it's done.
Honestly, on the way out of town, we
How
can
long does
get
it
a
last?
2 weeks.
Yes, on a crit success, it's 2 weeks.
You could have one of the destinations be the palace, so that you could take it to the ball. I'm just gonna throw that out
Shut
there.
up.
I mean, there's a benefit to having a vehicle.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you meant take the dwarf to the ball.
No.
What are you talking
Like
about?
having the carriage.
There's your
have one of
evidence.
its destinations be the palace is, I assume, like could be useful for many
Could be.
things. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm
Also,
just saying
like,
you have an
Because we
extra
could just
option.
take it to the vineyard.
horses just aren't that expensive. Also,
Yes.
we have so much money. We don't have to magically make everything. We can
Speak
buy
for
a
yourself.
horse.
I do not have as much money as you, moneybags. You with your apartment
We can buy
and
a
your
horse.
roof to live under.
You with your box-shaped tent.
So
Everything is a tent.
Your
Diego.
wooden tents.
I want Renister and I to look at maps kind of quietly and like pointing to locations so the thing doesn't hear us.
He does
Probably
have his
can't hear.
ears.
Yeah,
yeah.
its ears are glued and its coffin lid, but it's just in case.
I was very thorough.
But just talk about regular shit, but then look at the maps and try to find somewhere as far away as we can,
Do you want to go quite literally as far as you possibly can?
as
Or-
far as we can before he becomes a Vetalarana.
I mean, you don't
Yeah.
know that.
We don't know
do
that.
not know the time frame.
No,
You, you
but-
said at least
Maximum a day.
a day. Right. So
yeah. So like
within
we'd
that
be
time frame.
checking. So
Okay.
yes, at least say like head on this road. It'll probably happen sometime, maybe in this span of
So you're leaving
hundreds of miles.
conceivably, possibly for at least a full day.
I don't think we need to do that.
I will say that's got to go by Diego. He's got a date tomorrow
Yeah.
night.
I'd rather him miss a date than
Well,
us miss
well,
a chance to
no,
kill the Vetalarana.
The range to the academy is all we need. The academy to grave.
I just mean as far as eyes on us as the Kukari also.
Could we
I mean,
could we perceivably do the distance between the graveyard to the academy and then just do that exact distance from out of town? Like we're just trying to get it so that it is as far
Yeah.
away as it need to be.
Because I'm
for
not
sure.
only worried about it going into different bodies, I'm worried about collateral if shit goes down also. So
Yeah.
like
I
we
mean,
could
you
do
guys
it in the city outside of its range.
Just out of the city is fine.
You guys can
Yeah.
go
Just in the
probably
countryside
not just
somewhere.
out of the city.
Oh, yeah,
but
I'm
you
talking
guys
like-
could go. You would probably say 4 hours south would be your best.
Just
bet.
like in the countryside
Would-
somewhere.
Yeah, would be
And-
in the middle of a field.
Yeah, especially by
and
carriage. That's
put
way
you-
farther.
Yeah, and put you distance wise far enough away and such that you would like nothing would be within range of the estimated range of this thing. But anyways, let me just give the broad picture because there's a lot of talking back and forth there of everything. Excuse me, of everything that's going on or you guys are doing. Renister and Eamon have like kind of covertly, never said it out loud to make sure the Vetalarana can't hear, picked out a spot roughly 4 hours south of the city where you'd just be basically in the middle of fields. No one around. If it go awry,
Our party is so close to putting an end to the Vetalarana. They just have to hope their travels aren't interrupted. Is this really the end of the Vetalarana, or do they have another trick up their sleeve? What will the party do with Asdriel, a fallen celestial? All of this and more, next time on Dying 5.
If you enjoyed today's episode, consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you listen on. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if anyone in your life just can't get enough tabletop RPG action, send them our way. If tabletops have taught me anything, it's that good stories become great ones when you have some folks to share them with. And as always, thanks for listening.